John the Beloved, a biblical portrait. Among the 12 apostles chosen by Jesus, one figure emerges with a distinct intimacy and spiritual sensitivity. John, often referred to as the beloved disciple. Though the Gospels never explicitly name him in this role, tradition and internal textual evidence point to John, the son of Zebedee and brother of James, as this uniquely cherished follower of Christ. His portrait, woven through the New Testament, reveals a man of deep love, spiritual insight, and unwavering commitment to the truth. John's journey begins as a fisherman by the Sea of Galilee, where he and his brother James were called by Jesus to become fishers of men. Matthew 4:21-22. They were part of a family fishing business, likely with some means, as indicated by the presence of hired servants, Mark 1:20. Alongside Peter and James, John became part of Jesus' inner circle, a witness to pivotal moments such as the raising of Jairus' daughter, Mark 5:37, the Transfiguration, Matthew 17:1, and Christ's agony in Gethsemane, Mark 14:33. This closeness allowed John to see both the glory and the suffering of the Messiah firsthand. Yet John's early character, like that of the other disciples, was marked by zeal and ambition. Jesus gave him and his brother James the nickname Boanerges, meaning sons of thunder, Mark 3:17, likely referencing their impulsive and fiery temperament. On one occasion, John and James sought to call down fire from heaven on a Samaritan village that refused to receive Jesus, Luke 9:54. Their desire for prominence is also evident when they ask to sit at Jesus' right and left hand in his glory, Mark 10:35-37. These episodes highlight a youthful enthusiasm that, under Jesus' guidance, would be refined into mature love and humility. It is in the Gospel of John that we encounter the apostle most intimately. Although the author never refers to himself by name, he consistently refers to the disciple whom Jesus loved. John 13:23, 19:26, 22:21-7, 21:20. This description is not a boast, but rather a quiet testament to a profound relational closeness. At the Last Supper, this disciple reclines next to Jesus, resting on his chest, John 13:23, a physical expression of trust and nearness. At the crucifixion, when all but a few had fled, it was John who remained by the cross with Mary, the mother of Jesus. To him, Jesus entrusted the care of his mother, John 19:26-27, a gesture rich with both personal affection and spiritual responsibility. John's faith was both tender and perceptive. On the morning of the resurrection, upon hearing from Mary Magdalene that the tomb was empty, John ran with Peter to see for himself. Though Peter entered first, it was John who saw and believed, John 20:8. This quiet, intuitive belief born from love rather than proof typifies John's approach to faith. In his later years, John emerges as a theological thinker and pastoral voice. His writings, the Gospel of John, 3 epistles, and the Book of Revelation, reveal a man whose life had been transformed by divine love. The central themes of his gospel and letters are not rules or rituals, but the person of Christ and the power of love. God is love, he declares, 1 John 4:8, urging believers to abide in God by loving one another. His gospel emphasizes Jesus' divine nature, describing him as the eternal Word made flesh, John 1:14, while his epistles confront error and exhort the church to remain in the truth of Christ. John's authorship of Revelation, the final book of the New Testament, presents a different side of the apostle, no longer the quiet, beloved disciple, but a prophet caught up in awe-inspiring visions. Exiled on the island of Patmos for the word of God and the testimony of Jesus, Revelation 1:9, John saw the risen Christ in glory and was given messages for the churches. His apocalyptic visions of judgment, restoration, and the final triumph of God demonstrate that the love he so often wrote about was not sentimental, but holy, just, and victorious. According to early church tradition, John outlived all the other apostles, dying at an old age in Ephesus. He is remembered not as a martyr by blood, but as one who bore lifelong witness to Christ in word and deed. It is said that in his final days, when he could no longer preach at length, he would simply repeat to the church, "Little children, love one another." When asked why he said this so often, he replied, "Because it is the Lord's command, and if this alone be done, it is enough." Thus, the portrait of John the Beloved is one of transformation, from a fiery young man with ambitions of greatness to an apostle consumed by the love of Christ. His intimacy with Jesus, his unwavering witness, and his theological depth offer the church a model of spiritual maturity rooted in relationship. Through his writings and his life, John continues to whisper the heartbeat of the gospel to every generation. Abide in him, for he is love.